censored the curse word, but not my awfully, horribly mutilated. Oh, never mind. Gotta love PG-13 movie logic, I guess. No blood. Okay, so today we're talking about movies, in particular violence in movies. So, you know, if you're living in a society, you've probably noticed that over the past few decades, what constitutes violence in movies has kind of escalated, right?
You know this man. Look!
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Right, so if you know, you've got your PG-13 movies and your rated R movies, okay? And obviously they mean different things or else they wouldn't be rated different things. But basically the Motion Pictures Association is what sets these ratings, and they kind of offer like a warning to people about what's gonna be in the movie, like obviously ratings. You know what a rating is, okay? So like PG-13, for example, basically means that parents are strongly cautioned and that like some of the material that's going to be seen in the movie is going to be like not suitable for children, and they should like really think about letting their kid watch it before they actually do let them. In comparison, rated R movie, rated R means restricted, so like you need to be like 17 or older to see the movie by yourself, and you have to be, you guys know, okay, you're in college, you get it. Before, rated PG-13 and rated R, I feel like had more distinct boundaries, if you know what I mean. Like nowadays, PG-13 movies, they've got like gun violence, people getting like murdered on screen and stuff like that. But it's still considered like, you know, like, yeah, the kids can watch it, just get like a parent's permission, it's fine. But like rated R, like you can tell when a movie is rated R, you know what I mean? Like when the gore is like insane and you're like, you know, you gotta like look away. And also just obviously like sex scenes and drug use. But like nowadays it kind of seems like those lines are blurring just a little bit, especially on the violence aspect of things. So I know this seems kind of irrelevant, but bear with me here, line of reasoning, okay? So according to Consumer Health News, basically gun violence is portrayed more often in PG-13 movies than rated R movies. So that basically means that it's becoming more common and for a wider audience to see. So you guys remember those PG-13 rules I was talking about in the beginning of this? Some people actually refer to those as the James Bond effect. And that's basically where violence in films, video games, media, etc., it doesn't portray the consequences of the violence as they would happen in real life. So like in a PG-13 movie, someone gets shot and, you know, they survive, there's not a lot of blood, all that stuff. And so basically some people think that the violence minus the real life consequences is actually causing an increase in violence in real life. So how does this affect us? You know, we're kind of adults, and for the most part that argument seems to qualify more so towards like kids and things like that. But besides potentially affecting children, these people also think that it's negatively affecting society, making violence the norm, even though it's already pretty common, making it more common. So they think that violence in movies increases violence in real life. I disagree. First, this is one of the reasons I actually mentioned those film ratings in the beginning of the video. So, as you can tell, basically, they act as like a determining factor in whether or not you, your kid, whatever, should watch the movie, you know? And it says PG-13, and there's like the general like understanding of what it means. And then there's literally a box that just says like, oh, rated PG-13 for strong violence or something. So it tells you right there whether you should watch it or not. And if you think it's like gonna be damaging to you or your kids or whatever, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't watch it, but you know, like just, you could not, and that works too. Also, like, just because you watch violent movies or horror movies, it doesn't mean like you're a sadist or something. You know what I mean? Like, I love horror movies a lot, but that does not mean I'm going to become an axe murderer and start killing people in the woods and dismembering them. See, like, I'm going into a little bit too specifically, but I would not do it, you know what I mean? And like, most people just wouldn't. I feel like there's just a basic level of understanding as far as the medium goes. Like, if I go to see a movie and it has drugs in it, I'm not gonna leave the theater and be like, hey, I'm gonna do cocaine, like, as soon as it's over. That's just not something that happens. So it's kind of the same thing with violence, you know? You see someone get beat up on TV or something, that doesn't mean as soon as you leave the theater or your living room or whatever, you're gonna go out there and, like, go try to beat someone up. Like, that's just not something that happens. Because there's a basic level of understanding of right and wrong and fact and fiction, at least for the most part. Lastly, there was actually a study done that shows there's no direct relationship between violence in movies causing violence in real life. So, I guess I didn't really have to make this video? So, in short, violence in film, TV, media, even video games, it does not equal violence in real life. So basically that means I'm going to continue watching horror movies and people getting like murdered and stuff. It's fine, like I wouldn't condone it in real life, but it's interesting to watch, you know? So I'll catch you on the flip side.